Everything in this universe has a life cycle. Even inanimate objects, concepts, or institutions, though they may look different from that of a living being. But there's always a beginning, a spark or an idea. There are stages of growth, life, aging, and ultimately an end. The story of the ship is a story of life cycles. In this circa 1924 series by Harry Neyland, the artist uses 5 small oil-on-panel paintings to illustrate the creation, life, and demise of this vessel. But there are 2 life cycles directly associated with this series.
I appreciate a good metaphor, and whether it was intentional or not, it's fascinating to learn that the works in this series were the first 5 oil paintings accessioned by the Mariners Museum. These paintings mark the beginning of the life cycle of the museum's collection. Building the ship. The ship in the painting is in its early stages, illuminated by morning light, surrounded by scaffolding with many people building it. In the same way, the Mariners' collection was being built, artifact by artifact, painting by painting. A museum was beginning to take shape. In the second work in the series, Fitting Out, the ship waits at its pier, almost finished, eager to set sail. The quick, sketch-like brushstrokes give an energy to the series, one that brings this ship to life, suggesting for a moment that it is a being with a life of its own. The third piece, Under Sail, shows the ship brilliantly illuminated by a warm, glowing sun that casts delicate purple shadows on the edges of billowing sails. The ship is proudly underway. The sea sparkles with the reflection of the vessel. Though it's 91 years old, this is where I see the Mariners today, sailing forward proudly, taking storms, waves, and challenges one by one, and charting new courses while continuing in our mission to connect people to the world's waters. We too are under sail in our metaphorical ship. But this isn't the first time the museum has been here, and it won't be the last. After the Storm is the 4th step in the life cycle of Neyland's painted ship. It's a turning point, one which the artist has underscored by changing the orientation of the ship, flipping its bow from right to left. The light is low, and the ship takes on the same coloration as the waves. The sails dissolve into wispy clouds in the sky. A shadow is cast on the scene. This cycle is drawing to a close. Finally, the derelict. The bare bones of the ships that just passed the breakers, run aground and battered for who knows how many years, the mast and the sails long gone. The scene is only illuminated by the final faint glow of the setting sun. This might feel like an end, but it isn't. Series are many times presented in order, in a line with a beginning and an ending. But in this series, Neyland reminds us that life cycles are circular. He does this by duplicating the ship's form in the first and final stages, creating continuity and suggesting that this is not a moment of finality, but rather one of opportunity. Although the destruction of inanimate objects doesn't particularly give way to new beginnings, there's a concept of forward motion. It's in this stage that we can choose to allow the lessons of the past to foster progress in the future. We look back to our origins, not to repeat what has been done, but to find inspiration in the spirit of our foundations.
On the whole, I think it is bad for the spirit to bother about what other museums have done, in view of the fact that we do not ever wish to do the same. If the Mariners Museum has no new line of work and no new museum principles to prove, it is a waste of time and energy.
It is this inspiration that bolsters the museum's metaphorical sails and propels us forward, seeking new connections, new principles, and new eras of discovery. As the winds of society, culture, and museum practices shift, the Mariners Museum and Park is returning to the charge of Archer Huntington, refusing to be constrained by the ideals of the past and instead seeking opportunities in the beginning of a new cycle of progress and innovation.